Hi, everyone. I'm Philip from Informal Systems, and I want to tell you about Interchain Security 2.0, or how we're making the Cosmos Hub the best place to launch a chain. So Informal Systems is a core contributor to the Cosmos Hub and to other pieces of the Cosmos stack, for example, Hermes, Comet BFT. And today I want to tell you, so what makes launching an app chain of your own hard? So security is expensive. When you're an independent L1, you need to incentivize validators, you need to incentivize stake, and that typically means you need to have a staking token that has pretty high inflation in order to keep people happy to put their money at stake for your chain. Another thing that makes it hard is you need to bootstrap your own validator set. So when you start up your chain, you ideally want to have experienced professional validators that help you run it. And again, this is expensive. You need to incentivize these validators to pick up your chain. You need to get them excited to validate, and you want them to notice your chain early and to support you in the process. And again, this is expensive, and it's a lot of work that distracts you from developing your actual application. And then the last thing is, when you're a layer 1 chain, tapping into network effects is much harder. So if you're a smart contract on Ethereum, for example, it's clear that you will grow with Ethereum, and Ethereum will grow from people using you. But as an app chain in Cosmos, you're connected via ABC to this whole network. But how you best position yourself to grow when this network grows is not quite clear. So we're using Interchain Security 2.0, also known as partial set security, to make it easier for app chains to launch and to make the process delightful. So one advantage of Interchain security is what we call tailored security. So a chain gets the security that fits its security budget, and does this very easily. So you get to pick and choose how much security you need, and you can adjust this over time very easily as your chain grows and as your demand for economic security grows. Interchain security also allows you to reuse the battle-tested validator set of the Cosmos Hub. So the Cosmos Hub is one of the most decentralized and battle-tested validator sets of proof-of-stake chains. It's been around for a long time. So these are the people you want to notice your chain. These are the people you want to validate your own chain. So Interchain security allows you to reuse them and tap into the decentralization power that the Cosmos Hub has. And then lastly, launching on Interchain Security 2.0 is permissionless. So we're making it the easiest way to launch your own chain. So we're trying to make the Cosmos Hub the best place to do so. So we're working on making it as frictionless and as permissionless as possible to launch your chain there. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about what the current state of affairs is, or sorry, what the previous state of affairs was before we developed Interchain Security 1.0. Then I want to tell you how Interchain Security 1.0 tries to sort of address some of the problems, and then how we're iterating on that with Interchain Security 2.0. So app chains without Interchain Security look like this. So you have a lot of app chains. They're all connected via IBC. They're talking to each other. But each chain has its own validator set, and each chain has its own stake. So maintaining and bootstrapping your stake and your validator set are major hurdles to actually getting your own app chain started. And then with Interchain Security 1.0, we allow you to reuse the validator set of the Cosmos Hub. So you can see here, we have the validator set of the Cosmos Hub, and they're running the hub binary, hopefully. And they also have the stake that backs it. So when they misbehave, they get slashed on the Cosmos Hub. And in addition to that, they also run these other consumer chains. And essentially the same validator set and the same stake secures all of these chains. So how it works in a little bit more detail. The Cosmos Hub will tell via ABC the consumer chain what should be its current validator set, right? So the Cosmos Hub goes, hey, these guys should be allowed to run your chain right now. And then the consumer chain sends rewards because these validators are actually running nodes. They have operating costs, so the consumer chain rewards them for that work. And also the consumer chain gets the right to slash validators that misbehave, right? So the consumer chain would say, hey, this validator did something bad. So either they double sign or they have downtime. And then they can report that misbehavior to the Cosmos Hub, and the Cosmos Hub will slash that validator's stake on the hub, right? So you just get the economic security of the Cosmos Hub against anything that you can slash for. So in a sense, I think that interchain security is a very sweet spot between sovereignty and customizability on the one side. So this is something that you get from your own independent L1 chain. You get to switch out pieces of the tech stack. You get to sort of choose all your parameters you own. You get to choose whether to have a token or not. You get to choose how you want to do gas. So you have a lot of control of how you want your tech to work. But on the other side, you also get security and alignment. So smart contracts, they are immediately aligned with the L1 you deploy them on. They get economic security from the L1 you deploy them on. And interchain security allows you to tap into the best sides of both. So you get to be both sovereign and customizable, as well as secure and aligned to whatever you want. So that's interchain security 1.0. So it enables you to utilize the entire validator set of the Cosmos Hub. But this has some limitations. For example, for chains that need much less economic security or much less validators. So the Cosmos Hub has about 180 validators, and a lot of chains might not even want that many validators, maybe for performance reasons. They also might not want that much economic security because they might not be that mature yet. They might have less budget for security. So if your app chain needs much less validators or much less economic security, that's where we want to come in with Interchain Security 2.0 and enable you to still utilize the benefits of Interchain Security. So we call it partial set security, and I'll show you, you'll see in the next slide why that is. So the principle is just, that you have the validator set of the Cosmos Hub, and they're still running the Cosmos Hub, obviously. But you also have a part of the set that runs one consumer chain. You have a part of the set that runs another consumer chain. These can overlap. So the core principle is just only parts of the Cosmos Hub validator set run each of the consumer chains. And this makes it much more affordable because you don't have to incentivize the entire validator set to run your chain. You can incentivize only parts of it. So this is why we also say it gives you tailored security. So it allows you to get exactly as much security as you need for your chain. So we have two ways of actually launching Interchain Security 2.0 chains today. So we have opt-in chains. These are chains where individual validators of the Cosmos Hub can choose to validate the chain or not. So each validator makes their choice on their own, and the chains, the consumer chains, choose their reward levels to attract as many validators as they need. This big advantage of this is that it's permissionless. This is not quite live yet. We still have it permissioned. You need to go through governance for spam prevention, but it's going to be permissionless very soon. So then all you need to launch your consumer chain on the Cosmos Hub is just you submit one transaction. And this is great for applications that don't need the full security of the Cosmos Hub, right? You don't get a guaranteed level of security. Validators get to choose whether they opt in or not. So this is really good if you are an application, you want to just attract validators, but you don't need the full set. And then the other thing that we have live is top N chains. So this is where the top N% of the Cosmos Hub validator set needs to validate your chain. So this is the model that Neutron and Stride have today. We transitioned them from Interchain Security 1.0, and now the top 95% of the Cosmos Hub validator set needs to run these chains. So your chain, with this model, your chain gets a guaranteed level of security, right? You know how much stake you will have, at least. You know how secure your chain will be. But these have the disadvantage of needing to be approved by governance. Because some validators are forced to run your chain, so you can't just launch it permissionlessly. It has to be approved by the set of stakers of the Cosmos Hub. So this is a great choice if your application is fully aligned with the Cosmos Hub. So if you want to be viewed as a core offering of the Cosmos Hub, or if you need some guaranteed level of security. And then, apart from these two modes of launching your chain, we also give you a bunch of other options to customize your security, your validator set. So for example, you can obviously choose how many validators you want. You can set a limit to it, but you can also choose which validators you want to have. So for example, you could say, hey, we don't want any centralized exchange validators on our chain. And you can exclude those validators on the Cosmos Hub and pick which ones you want. You could, for example, have hardware requirements that mean you only want validators that have very, very performant hardware, or you might only want validators that are located in a certain geographic location for compliance. So Interchain Security 2.0 gives you all these options, but with the economic security of the Cosmos Hub behind. So you get all the benefits of having your own validator set that you control, but you're still secured by the stake on the Cosmos Hub. Okay, so now I want to talk about a few features that we have coming up. These are not live yet, but this is just to give you an idea of what we're thinking about and what we're working on next. So one thing that we're excited about is security aggregation. So you might have heard that the Cosmos Hub has a collaboration with Babylon to bring staked Bitcoin to the Cosmos Hub. And we want to allow consumer chains to essentially mix and match their security with what's right for them. So one thing I'm particularly excited about is what's shown here. So consumer chains can have their own native staking token, and they could combine that with the staked atom to mix and match what security they want. So they could give 50% of their voting power to validators from the Cosmos Hub and the other 50% to validators that have their own native staking token. So I think this will make it easier for chains if they want to transition, if they have reasons to keep their own staking token, but they still want more economic security. This will allow them to be very flexible in the trade-offs they make. And then the other thing we're working on is the ICS Launchpad, what we called it. So it's supposed to make the process of launching your own chain as easy as possible, right? I told you all you need is one transaction to get it done. But in practice, you need your chain to be found by people that actually want to validate on it. You might want to set your parameters in ways that make sense for you, and you need to understand what those are. And the Launchpad is going to allow you to do that. So you can permissionlessly launch your chain by clicking a button, uploading your binary, and validators can discover your project. So validators that want to know which chains are coming up, which chains do I have an option of validating, getting rewards from, they can use this to find it out. And then projects can give perks to their early supporters. So for people that indicate, hey, I would like to validate this chain when you guys launch, you can give them, for example, slots to have prioritized validator access. So even if other people opt in, these validators would be guaranteed to have a slot to validate. So yeah, with these features, we hope that we can make the Cosmos Hub the best place to launch a chain. So and Interchain security is essentially here to scale the Cosmos Hub, to make it more than what it is today. So the partial set security is live today. So if you're interested in learning more about that, or if you're interested in anything else that I talked about, then reach out, and happy to take any questions as well.
I'll repeat my questions. This is working? Okay. So you said that the consumer chain is the one who chooses when a validator can get slashed. What if we try to do that maliciously? Is that an option?
So a lot of things you can do via just cryptographic proof. So for example, if a validator double signs, you can prove this, and there is no subjectivity involved. The same for downtime. For downtime, we trust the consumer chain to tell you that this validator has been down, and for these, it's fine. But we'll have in general, we'll have what we call fault resolutions, where essentially the community of the Cosmos Hub will enforce agreements that the consumer chain has with validators. So, for example, you might think there is a consumer chain that says, "Hey, we have an oracle, and we need this oracle to be sort of correct." And if someone is very far off the oracle value that's reported, so someone says, "Hey, 1 Bitcoin is equal to $1 right now," then the community would come and slash them based on the block they signed that includes this. Yeah. Permissionless launch. Yeah, so right now, when you want to launch a consumer chain, you have to pass a governance proposal. And permissionless will mean to create a consumer chain, you have to submit a transaction. You pay the gas fee, and that's it. You're done. So there's no governance involved. You do need validators to opt in, but yes, exactly. So validators can opt in one by one, whereas with the governance proposal, right, you need like a super majority, essentially. Yeah.